go how to sign up. So you just select get free early access and then sign up. I'm going to try and keep this free for consumers forever because this is predominantly going to be a B2B app in the future. So write in your email and create a strong password. And then press continue. Not now. And then it's going to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself. So just put your name, date of birth, metric system, and you put your height in, but you can also choose imperials. I think that's American, and then imperial UK, which includes stone. Select gender, and it's as simple as that. Complete your setup. So now diary, which is where you'll spend most time on a day-to-day basis. And there are effectively 5 things that you can do in this diary. You can add food, 1 times apple. You can add drinks of any kind. So I will give you an example. I have protein shakes with water a lot. And you can add active calories. You can actually add things like 30 minutes walking, a run, but I think Apple Watch and these sorts of things are much more accurate. So I generally, at the end of the average day, I check my watch and I put in my active calories, which become my exercise calories. So as you can see here, the apple got logged as food, the active calories got logged as exercise, and then the protein shake with water got logged as water. There's 2 other things that you can do in your diary day to day, and that is put in symptoms that are common with GLP-1s. So for example, say you had mild nausea, you can add that down and it will get logged as a symptom. This will show up on your trends page. On your symptom timeline, you can see here mild nausea. We'll look at that when we go to the trends page in a bit more detail, but you can also put medium and extreme or severe, and then it will the color will be darker on the trend, so you can have a record of how serious your symptom was. So that's the 4 things. The 5th thing is your actual dose, whether it's Retatrutide or Tirzepatide or Mounjaro. You can log that as well. So say you took 2.5 milligrams of Mounjaro, you can see here that it's recognized that that's a dose. It's not going to let me log that right now because we need to add stock first before you can log your dose, and we do that on the scheduling tab. So I'll come back and do that in a moment. But in a nutshell, that's everything you can do on the diary. And what happens is for any active calories, it says that it's been burned, and then for anything that's been consumed, it's added a calorie total for it, and that gets added onto your total calories for the day. So if you know your basal metabolic rate and how much you should be eating per day, and then your total daily expenditure, which is your BMR plus any active calories that you burned throughout the day. So for example, my BMR is about 1400, give or take, per day. So that's how much I can eat, like just to maintain, basically how much my body needs to maintain. On average, I exercise about 600, 650, sometimes up to 800 active calories a day, depending on how active I am. So I know that in total, I can consume about 2,000 calories a day on average if I want to stay the same. And the final thing, actually, that I forgot to mention is your weight, of course. So depending on what you selected, whether it was pounds, stone, or kilos, you can actually add in your weight as well, and that will get tracked on a daily basis, and that goes up there. So yeah, there's technically 6 things. There's the food, the active calories or the exercise, the drinks, the symptoms, the weight, and then obviously the doses as well that you can log. So that is everything that you use the diary for. And one additional thing to note is we have this Generate Insights button here. This is connected to OpenAI, so it can give you a summary. It's more meaningful, like if you have a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks worth of data, and this actually generates every evening about 11:30 or 12 o'clock. So you wake up in the morning and you'll see your previous day has already been summarized with everything that you've done that day. But let's just press the button and see. There we go. It says my 7-day food intake is stable, exercise is consistent, today's weight is 65. Yeah, I mean, it's not really adding too much value at this stage. You really do need about a week's worth of data for you to get too much value out of that. But that's basically it for the diary. And there's 2 weeks worth of data that gets stored on here, and then you are able to access it again via export data, which is here. But to avoid slowing things down after 2 weeks period has passed, you can just access it via export my data. So basically you just get 2 weeks worth of logs that end up on your diary page. I just found with my own experience that I didn't really ever need to go back that much further for any major reason. So yep, that's how you start your logging. One thing I wasn't able to show you with the diary, because I was recording my screen on my laptop, was the photo logging. So you can see me recording my phone screen here, and with the diary entry log, you'll see a little paper clip. So you press that, it comes up to your camera, you take a snap of whatever it is you're eating, plate of food, make sure the food's actually visible, and it will just process what it has seen, and it will just give you a summary of what you've eaten and the calories. Now to show you what the schedule is all about, and this is for people that are using GLP-1s, specifically Tirzepatide or Retatrutide in the UK. And what we're going to do first is set up our dose plan. So this just gives it information before we start logging what we're actually taking on a week by week basis. So I've just got two options here. We're going to use Mounjaro as our example. We currently only do this for the UK or EMEA because I know the US has a different setup with when it comes to pens. I'm going to just pick 7.5 because that's the dose strength that I'm on. Every 7 days is what I do, but I want my reorder schedule to be custom. So I don't want it just to predict that I'm going to need to reorder every 1 month because I'm actually microdosing my pens a little bit. So I'm just going to update my preferences there. And then once that's actually set, it means we can add our purchase. So we're going to be adding 30 milligrams of stock, 7.5 there. And as you can see, currently it's just made an assumption that we're going to be taking 7.5 per week, and we're going to need to reorder. So we're on the 11th of January now, going to need to reorder around the 1st, which gives us a week to get our delivery before we need to, so we don't run out basically. But this is where you hop back to the diary, because on a week by week basis, you're actually going to be logging what you take. So say you received your order today and you took 3 milligrams, you would just write in here, and you can see that in the notes it's recognized what that input means. So you just write that you've had 3 milligrams of Mounjaro today. You can see that it's also logged that the stock has been ordered today as well. It just goes directly on there from your schedule. If we go back to our schedule, you can see that there's now a purple syringe here, and it's minus the 3 milligrams off the 30, and it's projected how many days and how many doses until your next order based on your actual dose rate. So instead of the 4 weeks until next reorder, you've actually got more like 9. So it's looking like the 8th of March. So I know that a lot of people are using these pens, and they're sort of somewhat microdosing. They may be missing a week or something like that. So the aim of this schedule is to give you a little bit of flexibility, but never let you get to the point where you've got no GLP-1 left, basically. So when your next dose is, which is quite simple, it's usually just a week. But if you've got a custom range, then you can add that. And then when you're looking like you need to reorder, so you know how much you're getting out of your pen. That's the point of the dose plan and the schedule. and how that works with the diary as well. Now I just wanted to show you how you can actually add your app to your mobile phone home screen as a shortcut. So I'm just in Safari on my phone here. I'm going to the Healthcount app. I'm signing in and then pressing the three dots at the bottom for more. Pressing more again here to find add to home screen. I'm just going to add it there. And you can see at the bottom the green H is added. So that's going to give you an app like experience. You have to keep signing in again. Now I'm going to show you how to have the app-like experience on your desktop. So you go to Safari, put in healthcount.app again, you press the chevrons there and that says share, and then you should see a drop down come up for add to dock. You're just going to add it to the dock. I already had one there and I just removed it. So it's just going to go down there and you can press that and get to it every time.